So welcome to our Wednesday morning Hatha flow. We're going to start lying down today. So you can get yourself situated. Make sure you have any props you might need nearby. So if you don't have formal yoga props like I do there, other things that work are books or toilet paper rolls, like full ones, to bring the floor closer to you, tea towels as belts and straps, and even couch cushions or pillows for padding and folded blankets and things like that. So I'll make my way to my mat and we'll lie down. If your body needs to get used to the position, keep your knees bent and your knees falling in towards each other so that they support each other here. And then let your body adjust to the new position. Take a hand position that suits you best. So this week, I'm really thinking about nourishing and listening to our own needs and everything. So often touching your abdomen or your heart center, that can feel grounding and nourishing, but you do whatever you need to. And we'll close our eyes and start to sink in. We start to settle into our bodies. And as we settle into the bodies, into the earth, the breath starts to settle. As we notice the sensations of the body, connecting to these tangible, tactile, visual, auditory sensations. We can notice that thoughts can start to take the back burner. Emotions and feelings, though they're all still there, we can start to shift the attention. As always, we set the intention of our practice to really listen. And this comes along with my theme of the week, but by checking in with ourselves at every point, or as many points as we can, we make sure that we're moving in a pain-free range of motion, no burning sensations, no radiating pain, no grinding the teeth or holding the breath. Watching out for numbness or tingling in the extremities, pinching in the joints. So we check in and we readjust as needed. We check in and ask ourselves, what feels good right now? What feels right? In the same way, we can challenge ourselves this way too. Am I exploring my full capacity here? Today, my twist on my theme of looking inside is also partly reclaiming our own power, our own wisdom. Not giving the power to anyone else to tell us what we need, what we should be doing, what we should be feeling. we reclaim that power and go back to that deep knowing inside. Sometimes it's hard. Those voices are loud. But we are the captains of our ship. Let's take 3 big deep breaths together, inhaling. And on your exhale, just let it all go. Maybe you'll make those sounds you need to make. That was not the sound I need to make, but it might be scary. Inhale. And let it go. And last one. And release. Bring the arms up overhead. Give yourself a nice stretch. Bend the knees. Bring the feet to the floor, about hip distance apart. And just start to windshield wiper those legs left to right, right to left. Next time they fall over to the right, let them hang there. They may not reach the earth. If you need a little more, you can hook the right heel onto the left knee to pin it down. You could even give that left arm an extra stretch by drawing it longer with your right. And then come back to center. Let the knees fall over to the left. And just let them hang here. Nice open twist. More of a fascial stretch. You can feel that gentle pull from even the right knee all the way up through those right fingertips. If you need to, you can hook the left heel onto the right knee and even take that right arm longer by drawing it further away with your left hand. And then back to center. Draw those knees in, give yourself a hug, rock side to side a little bit, make a few circles with your knees. And then we're going to come into some more twists, but this time some more active twists. So we're going to draw the knees to about 90 degrees. They can come more or less in if needed. Arms come out into cactus or a T position. And then we connect to the core here. So draw that lower abdomen towards the earth and draw those ribs down. There may be a little bit of space underneath the lumbar spine. That's okay in this position here, because we're still containing that core. And now we start to bring the knees over to the right on the inhale. On the exhale, draw them back up to center before they reach the earth. Your range of motion is determined by you. But use that powerful out breath to bring those knees back. We let gravity draw them down a little, and then we use our muscle energy to resist it and reclaim those knees, bring them back to center. Just going side to side. Maybe as you go, you can start to increase the range of motion. And we get the bonus of a little massage along the back of the pelvis and the sacrum. And then one more to each side. And come back to that reclined tabletop. Now, either keeping the arms where they are or wedging the thumbs underneath the sit bones. We're going to draw those knees to perpendicular to the earth. So we've got 90 degrees at the hip creases and 90 degrees at the knees. And we're just going to start to tap the toes down, nice and slow, one at a time, containing our center. And just slowly starting to activate this core, the strength we have at our very center. Still using the out breath to power, to contract. Let's go for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. Nice. And now hug those knees in for a moment. And then we're going to stretch the legs up to the sky, flex and point the toes, make some circles here. Maybe same with the hands and the wrists. Now we've got one more core activator to start the class with. So same thing, we're containing this lower part of the abdomen. We're drawing the ribs down. The arms, there's 2 positions they can take. If you need a little bit more support for that low back, you wedge the thumbs right underneath the buttocks as we do this, or we could reach them out forward. We're going to lower the left leg as far as it'll come before you start to lose that container of the core. And then either with the thumbs underneath or the arms reaching up, we lift up our head and heart. And we're going to hold this here, strong legs. We continue breathing. We start shaking probably. We draw that container in and keep it to ourselves for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1. And then come back to center, do whatever you need to do. And we go to the other side. Right leg comes down as far as it can before we lose the container. That doesn't mean we can't shake. The shaking will begin. And then we lift the head and heart with thumbs underneath or reaching out. That's it. So see, make sure the neck is long and mobile. And we hold for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and come back to center. Hug those knees in, make some circles again. And then we're going to rock up and down or roll over to the side so that we can come to hands and knees. Hands set under the shoulders, knees set under the hips. And we start to flow here. As we inhale, we open the front body. As we exhale, we open the back body, cat and cow. Feel how that stretch of the front body feels good after the core exercises. And then the back body can open and stretch, expanding. We'll do one more full round of breath here, making as many exaggerated movements as you need to. And then come back to center here. Nice. We're going to curl the toes under, lift the knees up 2 to 3 inches, draw that abdomen up. Press down into every single finger pad, every single knuckle, and just hang out here for 4. Draw that belly button up for 2, 3. Release the head and the neck for 2. And 1, press back into a downward facing dog. Nice. Pedal out your down dog. Beautiful. And then slowly we're going to make our way up to the front of the mat. Walking the feet towards the hands, bending the knees as much as you need to for your forward fold, and hang here. Shake the head, no, nod it, yes. Let the arms dangle. And reorient yourself now on your feet. Next, inhale, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Nice. So we're going to reach up on our inhale, and then taking the left wrist with the right hand, we're going to lean over to the right. Just get a nice side stretch through that left side. Plant down evenly between both feet. And then see if you can spin that heart open a little more. Inhale all the way up. And then take the right hand with the left and come over to the left. Once you get into the position, you can see if you can spin the heart open, draw both shoulders on the back, including that right one. And then next inhale, all the way up. Beautiful. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Hands to shins or thighs. Look up halfway, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, and fold. 2 more of those. Just pumping it out, bending the knees as much as you need to, connecting to the spine. Lengthening on the inhale, folding forward on the exhale. Beautiful. Fingertips on the earth, and that left leg is going to step back right away. Left knee comes to the earth, or any kind of padding you have for your knee. You could always even fold your mat. And we come into this low lunge here. So we're going to flow back and forth into our hamstrings. As we inhale, we draw those hips back into Ardha Hanumanasana, and we exhale, come forward. Just a nice warm up for the joints here, getting into those legs, moving slow. Beautiful. The next time your hips are back, let's stay here for a moment. We're going to draw that right heel towards us. I'm going to extend through the torso and try to even out those hips so that they're both in the same plane. From that length, maybe you can walk a little further forward. If you need more, you can bring both hands to the outer edge of that right leg. I know it's early to do this, but get some interesting sensations here. Walk the fingertips away from you if you need even more. And then come back to center. Bend through that right knee. Come into a low lunge here. So fingertips can stay on the earth or on props, or we can press ourselves up. Nice. Keep drawing that right hip back so that the hips stay in a relatively same plane here. You could stay here, or you can bring that left arm up to the sky. You could stay here, or you could take that left wrist and draw it over towards the right with the right arm. So we're arcing just like we did when we were standing, and really feeling, again, that nice long stretch from fingertips all the way down towards that left knee. And then come all the way up, plant the hands down, and step back into your first plank position. So plank can be on hands and toes, elbows and knees, or anywhere in between. And we hug everything in to reclaim that center core. We're working against gravity here. We're drawing it in and holding that power with softness in the face, in the heart center, with a smooth breath. And then drop the knees, shoulder flow. So 4 times we exhale, bringing the hips back behind us. And we inhale, draw the nose along the mat, elbows up to the side, and then press back up to hands and knees. Exhale, back, inhale, nestle those arm bones into the shoulder sockets as you come forward. Articulate through the vertebrae of the spine on the way back, and strengthening on the way up. Beautiful. After that last one, come all the way down to the earth. Hands off the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. We're going to inhale, lift the heart and head, and exhale, come down. So baby cobra, no arms, using that back chain of muscles 2 more times. At that last one, hold it there. And then look over the right shoulder towards the right heel. Look over the left shoulder to the left heel. Right again. Left again. And then come all the way down. Downward facing dog, or puppy, or child's. Beautiful. Let this be your home pose. Reset the body, lengthen the spine, reconnect to your base. And then the next inhale, left foot's going to step between the hands, however it gets there. And that right knee will come down. We flow through half splits again. As we inhale, shift those hips back. As we exhale, we bend forward. So just watch your range of motion. Notice the cricks and the cracks. Notice how you know when something feels productive in your body and that place where it stops feeling productive. Next time you're in your Ardha Hanuman or half splits pose, hold it here. Draw that right heel back, suck that left heel back, suck that left femur bone into the left hip socket to even out the hips. Get long through this torso, and then perhaps you can start to fold. Now, just as the other side, if you need more in this pose, you bring both hands to the outer edge of that left leg and maybe walk them away from you here. Nice. And then back to center. Bend through the left knee, come into your low lunge. You can stay here, softening the pelvis towards the earth. You can press yourself up into that low lunge. You could bring that right arm up to the sky and lengthen from fingertip to knee. Or you could even take the right wrist and draw it over to the left, arcing, making a sort of crescent moon with the upper body from this stable base. Nice. One more. And release the fingertips down. Pick up that back knee and either step, drag, or hop that back foot forward into a forward fold. And just let it go here. Bend the knees nice and deep. Feet are parallel. We come into our first chair pose with hands at the heart. So we slowly peel our torso off our thighs, and we come to a place where we can contain that core and the lower back isn't feeling overarched, squished, compressed. We feel that string at the top of the head drawing us up and out, whether it's straight up to the sky or even on an angle, whatever serves your body here. Lots of weight in the heels. And then reach those arms out in front of you and plug those arms into the shoulder sockets, exposing the heart, drawing the shoulder blades on the back. And just hold here for another 3, 2, sit a little deeper, and 1, come all the way up. Exhale, fold forward and release. Ardha Uttanasana, hands to shins or thighs, look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fingertips down, and this time right leg steps back behind us. Right knee's going to come to the earth again. And we are going to come up into that low lunge. So hands can stay at the heart, on the thigh, or again, reach forward. And we're gonna flow a little bit here. Plug those arms back into the shoulder sockets. And we're gonna reach forward and then draw everything back up. When we draw up, we'll feel more of a stretch in that right hip flexor, the front of the right thigh. We exhale and draw everything back to center. Reach outside of ourselves and then reclaim. One more time. Beautiful. Now from this position, if you're here, you could stay here or reach those arms up to the sky. And now from here, if you'd like, you can curl those back toes under and see if we can press through that back heel to straighten the back leg, taking the back knee off the floor. High lunge. Feeling strong and powerful. Beautiful. Fingertips to the earth. Coming into a hamstring stretch here again. So you could do Ardha Hanuman again. You could do that half splits with the back knee on the floor, or keep that back knee off the floor. Straighten the front leg for a modified pyramid pose. Always connect to a long torso, long waist, and then you can melt. Slowly bend through that front knee, plant the hands, step back to the plank pose again. This plank pose, we're going to come down onto our elbows. And again, contain everything into the center, draw those ribs in. And we're going to go for some twists here. So you could be on your knees. Either one works. We're going to dip the hips to the right and the left. And let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now flip the feet over and let those hips fall to the earth as you come into Sphinx Pose. Arms are parallel. Elbows are under the shoulders or slightly ahead of the shoulders. And the palms are even working just like in downward dog. Every single finger pad, every single knuckle. Tops of the feet are on the floor, tops of the thighs, and the pubic bone. So we've got a little more of an arc this time than in our baby cobra. But we can release and relax down to the earth. Every inhale, draw the heart forward and grow. Every exhale, just let go for a moment. Let's do that for 3, For 2, maybe getting longer each time. For 1, this time let's hold it up here. Draw that heart forward, almost as if you could pull the torso away from the lower body, tractioning the spine, increasing the spaces between the vertebrae. Imagining if that was possible. And then release all the way down. Hands under the shoulders. And then we come back into our down dog, our puppy, or our child's. Beautiful. So right foot's going to step forward. And that left knee comes down. And then just like the other side, we're going to press ourselves up into that low lunge. Make sure that there's enough space between the front knee and the back knee so that you feel that stretch in the front leg, through the hamstring, through the hips, through the inner thigh, and that back leg. We bring the hands to the heart or out in front of us, and then we flow. We reach forward and then draw everything back in. Reach forward. You feel the hips come forward too. Try to keep that depth as you draw everything back in. 2 more times. All right, either hold it here or reach those arms up, keeping that length through the body, the integration of the arms and the shoulder sockets, and the stretch in the front of that left thigh. Beautiful. You might even curl the back toes under, start to press out through the heel as you straighten the back leg. Awesome. And then release the fingertips to the ground and come into your favorite hamstring stretch. So either Ardha Hanumanasana or the modified pyramid pose. Lengthen through the upper body and melt. Beautiful. Bend through that front knee and drag, step, or hop that back foot forward into your forward fold. Release. Bend the knees nice and deep. And we've got another chair pose. So hands at heart, hands out front, or you could start to raise them up in line with the body. So again, this depends on the angle of your body and the openness of the shoulders, as long as we're not sacrificing that long mobile neck and we're not letting go of that container of core we've got. We feel strong. Sit a little deeper for 3. Lots of weight in the heels for 2. Smile on the face for 1. And inhale all the way up. Exhale, fold. Look up, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Step that right leg back. And again, we're going to come down on that right knee. Yeah, lots of lunging today. Those hips will feel good, but we're also going to get some power through our core. Come all the way up into that low lunge again. We can work in steps. You could stay here again with that right arm reaching up. You could come with me and start to reach it forward, getting the body nice and long. From that length, we twist to the left, right elbow coming to the outer edge of that left thigh. This might be where you can stay. You hold on to the left shoulder and you just feel that nice stretch through the torso. Maybe the hands come together in a The back toes curled under tends to give me a little bit more stability as I'm still drawing those legs together, activating the entire length of both legs. As you press those hands towards each other, you can even twist further. And just like before, if it calls to you, you can start to press into those back toes out through that back heel, and that back leg might magically lift up off the floor. You may even open the arms, spread them like wings. If you can still do that and keep the neck long and mobile and those collarbones wide. Inhale, come out of the twist, plant the hands, and you can flow down towards the earth. This time, your favorite heart opening pose. So either Sphinx, baby cobra, or if you're ready to start to draw yourself a little bit higher into Badakanasana, full cobra, whatever that means to you, go for it. As long as the collarbones stay wide, the neck stays long and mobile, the shoulders on the back, and we don't feel pinching in any one part of the spine. All the way down and come into your recovery pose. Lovely. When you're ready, right foot will step forward, left knee down, come up into our low lunge. Left arm comes up to the sky. Maybe we stay here. Maybe we start to draw our torso forward, keeping the legs strong and stable, the hips in line. Maybe on that exhale, you can powerfully twist around and hold it here. Maybe the palms come together and they press together as we direct our heart towards the thumbs. Maybe the back knee comes up off the ground. Maybe the arms widen. Awesome. Inhale takes you out of that twist. And then we come to a forward fold again. Ha. Bend the knees. Chair pose. This time, keep the hands at the heart as we're coming into a twist here. So get nice and long through the body. On the next exhale, right elbow comes towards the outer left thigh. Now check the knees. That right knee might be creeping forward. Draw it back from the hip. And then keeping this leg stable, we press the hands towards each other to twist here. And maybe open the arms. Inhale, come back to center. Do whatever you need to do before we exhale and twist left elbow to the outside edge of that right thigh. Draw that left knee back. Press the hands together, twist here. Maybe the arms open. And then back to center. Let's come all the way up. And exhale, release the arms down into mountain pose Tadasana. Close the eyes. Feel all twisted out. All right, last little standing sequence here. We step the left leg back about 3 to 4 feet. And then we angle that back foot to about 15 degrees. Right knee starts to bend. And we can kind of adjust ourselves. Make sure the hips are facing in the same direction. This is warrior one with the back heel on the ground, hips facing forward. It's actually quite difficult, and you can start to feel the strain on your low back if you're not activating that core. So lean yourself forward, find your center, and keep that as you find the angle that best suits your body. Bring the arms out in front, plug those shoulders in. Maybe they stay there or they start to come up. Virabhadrasana 1. Now we're going to take it deeper into warrior 3. You can start to reach forward, finding that length just as we did in all those other poses. This time we start to shift the weight into that right foot. Maybe you're just coming onto those left toes. Hands can come to the heart or the hips as well. And then maybe the left toes come up off the ground. So you come into a T position. Beautiful. And now, hang those arms below you and see if you can touch the earth or blocks. So keep that left leg up. You could stay here, or maybe can you twist to the right, opening that right arm up. And come back to center, replace the feet together, come into a forward fold, and let go. Come all the way up. Step the right foot back 3 to 4 feet. Turn the right toes to about a 15-degree angle. Square those hips off, bend the left knee. Find your core. Make sure that low back is protected. And then find your arm position. Beautiful. Start to reach forward, forward, forward. And this is might be where you stay, just shifting the weight into that left foot. You can feel a lot of strength happening right there. Now, either with the arms out front, at the heart, or at the hips, we could try to lift that right leg up off the floor. Make sure the hips are still facing the same direction. Powerful. And now from there, drop those arms down and see if you can touch the floor or props. Keeping that leg out behind you at a 90-degree angle if possible. And then keeping the right fingertips on the ground. Can you open up to the left and twist? And then release that. Release the feet towards each other. Take a fold. Bend the knees. Let the chest rest on the thighs. And slowly come all the way up to standing. Tadasana, mountain pose. Because I know you want to get one more chance to try out that sequence, just a little bit more flowing. We step the left foot back, spin it down, bend the right knee. Warrior 1. Get nice and long through the torso. Start to reach forward, 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 keeping those hips in line. And maybe start to shift into warrior 3. Hands can come down towards the earth. And now, can you keep the left fingertips on the earth or your props and reach up through that right arm, twisting to the right. And then replace the foot, replace the hands, and make your way all the way up. Last leg of the journey. Right foot steps back, left knee bends. We even out those hips. We choose our arm position. Virabhadrasana 1. Lengthen through the torso. Start to reach forward. Maybe shift into warrior 3. Legs are strong, powerful. Maybe the fingertips come down. Maybe they stay there. Maybe we twist. A twisted half moon. And then we release the hand, we release the leg. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold, and step back into a child's pose. Knees apart, toes together, hips towards the heels. And let go. Make sure the forehead has somewhere to rest on. As you ground and regulate the breath, regulate the heart, and start to come back to sensation, settling. Of course, in a yoga class, there is somebody telling you what to do, but you always have the autonomy to choose at which point you pause, right? You also have the autonomy to choose how far to challenge yourself, to watch yourself in your power. Walk the hands over to the right and stretch out through the left hand, pinning that left hip back, arcing through the left side, finding a nice stretch from hip to fingers. And then back through center, walk them over to the left and stretch out through the right hand, pinning that right hip back, breathing into the side body, the armpit, the entire length of the arm, and the hip. And come back to center. Come all the way up to seated and take those legs out in front of you. Shift a little bit side to side. Now here's where, if you do have something to use around the feet, a tea towel or a belt or a yoga strap, we're going to come into Paschimottanasana, or just a straight-legged forward fold. So find those sit bones, plug them into the earth. If they need to be elevated on something like a folded blanket or towel, that helps as well. You may just stay here upright at a 90-degree angle in Dandasana, staff pose, or you may start to draw the heart forward. Let those shoulders be soft, neck long and mobile. And then you can release. Let your breath massage, soften, fill all those places that need some space. And we come all the way back up. Bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the earth, bring the hands behind you. If the shoulders are tight, they can come out to the sides, and the hands can be pointed out to the sides or diagonally or towards the buttocks, depending on your shoulders. Inhale, press into feet and hands to lift those hips up into a reverse tabletop, just activating that back body after the forward fold, the deep forward fold. And then coming back down to center. Bring the feet together, knees fall apart, Badakanasana, Cobbler's pose. Take a hold of the ankles. And again, you can wiggle, make sure those sit bones are plugged into the earth. If it's hard to plug them in, draw the heels away from you until your pelvis comes to a neutral position. And then from that, we're going to inhale, press those knees up towards the elbows, exhale, release them. 2 more of those. So a little bit of active release here. We activate the muscles and then release. On that last one, hold it there. Perhaps draw the heart forward and release the head and the neck. And then all the way up. Draw those knees together. We're going to come to get our hips on our back here. So slowly make your way down to the back. Keep the knees bent when you get down there, feet on the floor. Take a moment here to let the bones settle. Mine physically start to shift into place. I can feel them going, oh, click, 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 click. And then we let go into the earth. We're coming into number 4 pose. So if you have a wall nearby, it can be helpful as well. We're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh and open that right knee out to the right. So you could either use your hands to draw that leg in, or like I said, if the wall is really close by and easy to get to, you can place that left foot on the wall as feedback, press into the wall and use that to open that right knee even more. So either one, we're actually trying to lengthen both sides of the waist equally. So there's a tendency to really hike up that right hip. So keep pressing that knee and that hip to lengthen the space between the right knee and the right shoulder, to lengthen the right waist, to even out the hips on the ground, and really get that nice stretch in the outer right hip, in the glutes and the piriformis. And breathe there. And then uncross the leg. And let's go to the other side. Left ankle crosses over the right knee. And you either draw that right thigh in as much as you can without really curling up through the lower back. We want to try to keep that sacrum on the earth and keep both sides of the waist as long as the other, both hips in the same plane. And we really work on opening that left hip up. Nice. Keep breathing length into the waist. Keep expanding the space between the left shoulder and the left knee. Keep that left foot active. It helps to connect to the muscles required to help you get into this stretch. And it helps to keep that ankle and knee safe and in line as well. And then slowly come out of that. You can do some side to side movements with your knees, windshield wipers. And then hug those knees in. We're going to come into happy baby pose, feet up towards the sky, reaching on the inside edges of the legs towards the outside edges of the feet or ankles or shins. And then we notice that sacrum comes way off the earth. We try to ground it. It won't come grounded completely or at all, but we press the sit bones away from us to lengthen through the torso again, and then start to draw those knees down towards the earth. Maybe rocking a little side to side. And then whenever you're ready, release that. If there's anything else that needs to move through your body, so another twist or maybe a bridge pose, go for it. And when you feel prepared, close your eyes and ask yourself what kind of final relaxation you need today. Don't let tradition, yoga teachers, anyone else tell you what would feel good in this place and time. Maybe it's a traditional Shavasana, but maybe you want to come to your side, your front, legs up the wall, legs hanging over a couch, a reclined Cobbler's pose. Maybe you need some props, or maybe even a seated meditative pose calls to you. Whatever you choose, make your way into final relaxation. Close your eyes. And come back to your center. We definitely connected with our physical center through class. But now, come back to our energetic center. And wherever you visualize that, you see a bright light. That light that has always been there. The light that is completely unique to you. Nourish it with your breath. Feed it. Watch how it doesn't dull On the exhale, or the inhale, sometimes it feels like it gets duller, but really it just gets clouded. We let layers obscure its pure brilliance. Layers of outside opinions, of voices, of set beliefs that we don't even know where they came from. But underneath it all, it's powerful, and it hasn't stopped. Our yoga and mindfulness practices give us the time, the space, the movement to reconnect with our center, to get to know ourselves again, and to catch glimpses of that power, that brilliance. By listening and acting on the messages, that's reclaiming. The more we do this on the mat, the easier it becomes off the mat. The mutual respect and trust is developed. Before you leave today, make sure you thank yourself for your practice. Thank yourself for the date with your inner light and your center and your core, even physically. And I hope you all have wonderful weeks up ahead. I thank you for joining me. Namaste.